Public hearing to adopt the 2021 proposed budget. So hereby officially open the public hearing, and then open the floor for citizens' comments. Sheriff, you're a citizen, if you wish to address,
Okay.
have at it.
All right. I'm not going to be too elaborate because it's pretty simple. Our budget was reduced by $87,675 for 2021, and I'm just here to ask for that money back.
Okay, let me elaborate on that just a little bit, if I can. I anticipated that.
Yeah, I told you we'd meet here.
Yeah, you didn't even have a gun on you.
No, I don't have a gun.
Good.
The higher help does. So.
Well, you got Mark back there. Mark's scary enough. What I have, and then I'll address it, and then the other two commissioners can chime in, whatever they want to do. What you had in the past was a line item for lease purchase.
Right.
And you said you wanted to do away with that. And what we had here, what I've got, was the documents that was coming from your office that said basically to move the lease purchase amount, which you had $95,000 in there for 2020, to move it to salaries, okay? And where we were coming from, our last meeting we had, was that we were not going to put any salary increases for anyone other than what was mandated by the state. But what we did, and also on here where you had capital outlay, was to use splost. Well, a couple of years ago, we had a workshop, I think it's 2018, where the splost fund for public safety, you get 25% of that, okay? And what you were saying, what was on here was say to use splost. So you have 34,000 that would be in the budget for next year for capital outlay, plus you would have 100,000. It's not budgeted, but you have 100,000 available to use with on top of that. So
Is that from the SPOS?
from the splost, you'd have $134,000
Right.
for new equipment, and all
Right.
you got would have
That
to
will
do
get
is,
us, that will buy us 3 cars.
yeah,
Yeah, it will, but we need 5 is the problem.
Okay.
So we're having to replace an SRO vehicle
Mhm.
that, there's 5 of those. The school buys 3 and we buy 2. I think is the way that works, or vice versa. Anyway, we had one of those go down on us that they actually had to put us a car together that they had over there that would suffice until after the first of the year, until we get into our new budget to be able to replace that vehicle. See, but we weren't expecting that. We've had 2 patrol vehicles all along that's gonna have to be replaced. If y'all don't put this money back in my budget, I'm gonna have to take this $50,000 right here out of small equipment and tools and buy a patrol car with it. That's gonna put that down to probably less than $10,000. And then we've still got another car that's gonna be worth slap out before we ever get back into our 2022 budget again. So I've got a need for 5 vehicles.
Right. But here's the additional caveat to that. With the challenge we've had with expenditures and not knowing where revenues are this year, where I was coming from is that we will know at the end of January exactly where the county stands, because everything will be finally tabulated for 2020. And then basically you're about the only department that's was basically saying you want your budget to be adjusted. What my strategy is to leave, you'd have 134,000 that's immediately available. And then if you needed to get 2 more cars, it would be just a matter of the new board to amend your budget from that, which would be a slight amendment based on what the final numbers would be. So I'm just speaking for me.
Right.
I would prefer to leave it where it's at, but leave it open to the board here to see if they want to do something different.
I got you. That's all I've got, and I would ask for your consideration to get that money back. Thank you.
So the amount is, what are you saying that it's been reduced by?
87,600 and something. 87,675. And that was basically a payment that we had been making for the last 3 years. That money was in that lease purchase line item in our budget. We made our final payment in 2020. So I was wanting to take that money and roll it in instead of having to make a car payment again, which we don't have to do because the payment's paid off. Take that money, leave our budget bottom line the same. We're not asking for any more money. Just give us the same thing you gave us last year and let me roll that money up in to buy 2 more cars. In a nutshell, that's it.
So you're wanting to use 87,000 to buy more cars?
2 more, yes, right, Don.
I thought you said you needed 5.
I do, see, I put the money in 2021 for 3 vehicles.
Okay. But you just need 2 right now?
No, we need 5 right now. I put the money in there, but then the $87,000 got taken out. If I can put the 87,000 back in, I'll be able to buy 5 instead of 3.
Okay.
Does that help?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you get by till the end of January?
Well, the thing about it is I have to make a commitment to the car dealer. See, inventory, just like everything else, is terrible. You can't get nothing right now, as you can imagine. Car plants are shut down. Our dealer has got, Brandon down in Vidalia, Georgia, he's a police dealer down there. He's got a handful of vehicles sitting on the lot down there, and we've got 5 of them spoke for. They're agreeing to hold them for us. But if we don't take them right after the first of the year, he's gonna have to sell them to somebody else.
Brand new car?
Yeah, yeah. With equipment and everything, they come in somewhere in the early 40,000s by the time you outfit them. I think the price on the vehicles is about 33,000 and the rest of that's equipment.
What we can do, Sheriff, I mean, unless the commissioners want to speak more, is when it comes time to vote for the budget, if they want to add that back to it, or in
Yeah.
whatever way they want to do it, they have the right. You just have to convince 2 of us to do it.
Yeah, I understand.
So, unless they've got more questions on
Yeah.
it, when we get to the time to vote on it.
Well, I mean, I know I asked everyone to stay where they're at. I didn't agree to cut anybody.
And that's all we're asking to do, is just stay where we're at.
How much of the cars running a piece, Sheriff?
They're about 40, well, we've got one K9 car we gotta buy, so it's plumb out of the category because of the cage and everything and the equipment, but they're in the low 40,000s by the time you outfit them. The vehicle price is 33,000 something, and then about $7,000 or $8,000 in equipment.
So you have 134,000 right now to
Yeah.
do that. How much money is it gonna cost to get 5 cars?
Figure them at about 42,000 apiece.
So you're saying putting the 87,000 back in there as a line item
We'll do
for
the 2.
equipment? Okay.
Yes, sir, back into lease purchase or capital outlay, whichever one you can buy cars out of.
Well, you're through with leases, aren't you?
Yeah, but it's lease purchase. I don't know if you just use the same line item for both or for
Well, you
one, I don't know.
just have one for capital, I think, is
Yeah.
what you do. Okay. Okay.
And other than that, I'm happy as pig in slop.
I always say a turtle in fresh mud.
You know, or a rabbit in a briar patch.
Beat that one to death. Okay. Any other comments from anybody? Okay. All right. Well, we'll make a decision on that here in just a few minutes for you. All right, we'll close the public hearing, and we will open our regular meeting And Mr. Patterson, would you do the invocation, please?
Lord gracious Heavenly Father, as we come to the end of another year, we've had good, bad, and uncertain times. But through it all, you've been with us, and we want to thank you for that, Lord, for the blessings that you have bestowed upon us, protected us with. Lord, and we know that we're not worthy of those blessings, but you're just so good that you give it to us out of your mercy and grace. Lord, we just pray that you be with this meeting, be with our minds, help us to have wisdom, Lord, in the decisions that we make for the people, not for anybody but our people, our good citizens. And Lord, just go with us. Thank you for these other two commissioners here that I've had the privilege to work with. And Lord, I pray also for Chief Searcy. Thank you for the improvement, Lord, that you would just be with him as a civil servant and all of our civil servants in emergency, wherever they are, Lord. Thank you for the employees that we have. And go with us again through this meeting. We ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, first item of unfinished business is to approve the minutes from the November 24th teleconference. Commissioners, let me know when you're ready to move with that.
I'm ready.
I have no objections.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes. Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor? Minutes are approved. I had the original, okay, didn't see it. Signature, please. Okay, item number 2, vote to adopt the 2021 proposed budget. And just to go over the total numbers as it is right now, the grand total revenues amended would be $29,356,858. And that would be compared to last year, which is $28,564,665. So less than $1 million, about $800,000 increase, or about 2%, which I think is a good budget, a good flat budget. I'm pleased that everybody has pitched in to try to get us through a very difficult time and keep the county financially whole. I'll open up comments. Commissioner Patterson, what do you have to say, sir, about the 2021 budget?
Chairman, we talked about this a while back. If you don't care, would you mind going over, I think there were 3 items that we might change. I know one of them was with rec. Could you go over those 3 again that you changed from last year to increase? Preschool.
Okay, of course, the risk management
Right,
was a
insurance.
biggie, okay?
Yeah,
Because it's based on actual cost per month. I mean, it's not, you understand, it's not like self-insured.
in the past, not.
So that's one. The other change would be, we voted some time back to give the Recreation Department a preschool program, which meant hiring some additional staff. And I believe that number for that, Commissioner, was about 58,000. I don't have that right in front of me, but I think that's what that number increase was
Okay.
for supplies and personnel. And that's it.
Do we have something that's changed a little bit with the Keith and
Previously, we had the land development.
land development? Yeah.
Covering everything, and we split that off because you do have a department head, Mr. Nicholson. So his department would be, tell you what, we did that one just a minute, but it just inspection. So you'd have land development and inspection, and those two would combine. They should be the same number total for them.
With Miss Woody?
Yeah, Miss Woody has her budget, and Mr. Nicholson has his now.
Okay.
Does that answer?
Yes, yes, it does. It
Okay.
does. I have no further questions at this time. Interested in you guys and you folks' comment.
Okay. Commissioner Johnson, I'll open it up to you, sir.
So what was taken from land development was just essentially added in a different department under building inspection?
Yes.
No, other than that, it looks like everyone's done. I mean, I know what I asked everyone to do was try to make it through this year with the same amount. I mean, the pre-K, you know, we talked about that a long time ago, that increase, but I think that increase, with recreations is well spent money for that area with that program, so.
Okay, did you have any, on the sheriff's budget as it is that we have right here, does not have that, and this was, again, Sheriff, you had the 95,000 in the lease payment and what the numbers were for your department. There was a zero put in there, and it said moving that to salaries.
Right.
So that was it. So there was,
Yeah, so when we figured out we were not gonna be able to give salary increases, then our next biggest need was vehicles.
okay, so what was, and I'm kind of, I guess, talking with you about that, and making sure we know what number, you know, that you wanted to add back in there.
Well, the 95 was just a number that we had in there because that was a
Right.
guess of a figure. I think the payment turned out to be 87 something instead of
Yes, I
95.
believe so,
Yeah, and it may have amortized a little over the course of it and went down a little too. It may have
Okay.
started out at 95 or something, so,
So,
Less
so,
interest.
yeah.
so the budget you have for the sheriff's department, as we have right here, is $2,222,853. And you're saying add 87,000 back on there would get you.
Is that yours?
Yeah.
222,853?
Yep,
Yes, sir. I'm asking for the 87,675 back to put us back to where we were in 2020 at 2.310528.
and that keeps your budget flat for
Yes,
this
sir,
year.
it would.
Okay. Have,
From 20 to 21.
yes, commissioners, what's your, I'll let you guys address that now.
I mean, if you need the vehicles, and that's what's being spent for, I mean, I don't have any problem leaving it as long as it's flat where it's at.
It is. It won't go up a dime.
Okay, Commissioner Patterson, what's your thoughts on it?
Well, I don't want to take a chance with public safety and with the citizens' protection for the month. It could work out, and then again, it could. You never know what's going to face us from day to day. So if that's what you need to keep the citizens of Fannin County safe, then I think we need to follow through and give it to you.
Well, I appreciate it. Let me say this, guys. I don't talk a whole lot about it, so y'all probably don't have no way of knowing, but you wouldn't believe what a wrestling match it is for us to keep cars on the road. I mean, we just fly by the seat of our pants every day. And we can go down one vehicle and it just puts everything in a tailspin. And I've got to keep that fleet
How
maintained.
many do you have overall?
I think there's about 35.
35
Yeah,
vehicles?
within a few of that, one way or the other.
Do you keep one in the shop pretty much most of the time?
Well, it's kind of hard to say, but I mean, yeah, we have vehicles go down a lot, and our spare vehicles that we have over there, they're just barely roadworthy. We've got 2 of them,
Got two backups?
2 backups, yeah, that they fall into if their car goes down, but it's just a real wrestling match to keep our fleet on the road.
How do you decide on, is it a mileage?
Whichever one's in the worst shape, yes, sir. With these, it's mileage. Captain Newman, Greg Newman, he's been driving the same car for the last 15 years. And his cars wore out. And they just, I mean, once they get to the 200,000 mile mark, they're pretty unpredictable.
You getting the same kind?
Well, they don't make the Crown Vics no more. You know, they done away with them a few years ago. It's what they call an Interceptor now. It's a Taurus. Is basically what it is, a 6-cylinder Taurus that's all-wheel drive, so it works a whole lot better for us anyway.
Better mileage?
Well, the better, I mean, all-wheel drive's better for us because of the winters and the rough roads.
Right.
So that works out real good, but now they're doing away with that car. They're not even building that Taurus no more, and it's all the SUV, which is, it's called an Interceptor SUV, and it's kind of an Explorer type vehicle. But they're all-wheel drive.
So you try to get it from 3 to 5 a year, or 2 or 3?
We've been buying 3 every year since this SPOS deal came into play. We've been able to kind of budget for 1 and buy 2 out of SPOS, and that's give us 3 every year. But that wasn't going to get us through this year because of what we've had just wear out on us. It's just a timing thing. And then we've had a wreck or 2 we've had to make up for.
Right.
We don't put any money in our budget for car wrecks, but, you know, we've always found a way to be able to replace them when we had to. When you file an insurance claim, they don't never pay you enough money to buy a new car with, so you gotta find that somewhere.
I got you.
But yeah, cars are a big deal. I tell people all the time, our 2 biggest things, and I've told y'all this one-on-one before, people and vehicles are my 2 biggest things. That's the hardest things for me to keep up. We're having a terrible time filling positions. We can't find people to work. We've got 2 road deputy slots right now, 1 investigator slot, and we don't know what we're gonna do. We got laughed at one time by a City of Blue Ridge officer. He was gonna have to take a $4 pay cut to come to work for us. And we're dealing with a Towns County guy right now where Hiawassee PD's fixing to blow us out of the water. And the next thing we're gonna have to do is get our salaries up. That's becoming a tremendous problem for me. We're starting to see the negative effects of it right now. I've got 3 holes. That's just enforcement holes. I've got 2 at the jail that I can't fill. I've got 5 holes right now that I have 0 interest in, and it's because of our pay.
Any other questions, thoughts on the budget, commissioners, before we ask for a motion to approve?
I have none.
Okay. Commissioner Patterson?
Are we going to work on the motion now for the cars? Is that what we're gonna do?
Commissioner Patterson will make a motion to approve the budget and add the 87,000 back to that. So
Thank you, sir.
if you want to make that motion, you can do that.
That'd be fine. I'll make the motion
Okay, spell out your motion, please.
that we accept the budget as is with the 87,000 put back for, police department, sheriff's department.
Do I hear a second?
87,675. We leave that out, it'll be a mess.
Okay. Do I hear a second on Mr. Patterson's
Second.
motion? Second, okay, all in favor? All right, budget's approved and that will be
Thank
increased
y'all
in
guys
budget.
very much.
Ms. Doss, this is what we need to sign right now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, item number 3, deferred compensation for employees. That's a fancy term for just doing our normal Christmas money for all county employees. It's traditional. We've done $50 for part-time and $100 for all full-time employees. Mr. Patterson, I'll open it up to you, sir. You want to continue this Christmas tradition, or do you want to play Scrooge?
I like the way you put that. No, we'll continue it. That'll be fine.
Okay. Mr. Johnson?
I'm borderline.
You borderline?
We'll continue.
All right. I'll ask for a motion that we approve the deferred compensation for all employees, $100 for full-time, $50 for part-time. I'll ask for that motion.
Make the motion.
Okay, I'll second that. All in favor? All right, item number 4, and this one is a toughie. You guys really want to show up here just a day or two before Christmas?
Mr. Johnson said he would.
Well, you might be a one-man
No,
show
I
if you
said you'd
do.
be by yourself.
Well, we have done this in the past, and typically this time of year, things slow down, and if there's something necessary, we always have the option for a special call meeting. So I'm going to make the motion that we cancel the second meeting of the month, December 22nd. I'll make that motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second. All in favor? All right. Any further thoughts before I ask for adjournment?
Mr. Helton, I've got just one quick comment. Before we adjourn, we're gonna have a special presentation, short presentation after the adjournment.
Okay.
You may leave if you feel necessary to do so, or you can stay and we'll do that presentation just shortly right after we adjourn.
I've already had my presentation, so
All right,
we'll step off from that.
okay.
Anything further, Commissioner Johnson?
Nope.
Okay, all right. Then I'll make the motion, we adjourn the meeting. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second, all in favor? Thank you for coming.
I'm gonna put that in my water.
Yeah, don't take that with you.
All right, good luck to you.